We training a little together the last 2 days, and now let's see what we can do here.
The last 4 days we prepared together in our village sport academy.
It's very different to play in doubles and individual. It's important to training together and to know each other very good. The positions of the cue ball is very important, and some ideas we have to train it.
There's a double tournament, so we have to play together good as a team and not as a single.
We have played with them in Euro tours, and so they are a tough team.
I played one of these guys, and I think Albin also played one of these guys, or both. So we know them from the Euro tour. So
they are favorites, but we can do something. We will try to fight and give our best, is what we can promise.
Yes, Portugal understand it. They're up against it, but they know it. And the fancied side from Austria, Albin Ocean on the right, Mario He on the left. Both seasoned campaigners, young, but very wise heads on those young shoulders. And Nick, nice to see you in the box beside me. You get the best seat in the house.
Sat next to you, Jim. Nowhere else I'd rather be. Now let's see who wins the lag. And
Austria win the lag.
Yep, that is just what they wanted. Mario He. All very well being the favourites, but you've got to go out and deliver. And of course, a 7-rack race is a bit of a leveller. You get a quick start. It's yours to lose then, isn't it?
Well, prophetic words, especially when you think that Italy was favoured over France in the last one. Being favoured on paper means nothing.
These one balls have been flying into that corner pocket. And there's another one. And another ball went down as well. And that's a nice spread. That 3 is gone, but the 2 is wide open. Boy, you'd take that table, wouldn't you?
You bottle that break, you can sell it all over the world. 4 balls off the break from Mario He. Albin Ocean, runner-up in this year's World 9-Ball Championship. The brother of one of the best female players on the planet, Jasmine Ocean. Actually, they partnered each other one year in the World Cup of Pool, brother and sister.
Feathered that 2-ball in. And there's just not a problem on this table, is there really? Nothing's worthy of the name problem.
Yeah, the big shot comes right here, getting the cue ball from the 4 back to the opposite end of the table to the 5. If anything can go wrong, it's going to be here, because that cue ball's got to travel.
Let's see what Mario can do with it. There's the pocket. Ooh, yeah, he's got it. He's got it.
I can tell there's a little bit of passion in your voice, Nick, over the years. We haven't done a lot together in recent times, but back the old World Championships, you really started to like this sport.
Loved it. Really, really got into it. Had the pleasure of working a few World Championships with you and Ted and the guys. And then back again.
A little straighter than you would have ideally liked. And again, just getting the cue ball away from the cushion to make that 9 as easy as possible. Force follow.
Well, he's left a long 9, but I can't think Albin's going to let that one slide.
Perfect start if you're the favorite. A break and run out. Albin Ocean, Mario He, Team Austria off the mark here in Portsmouth.
Shows once again, Jim, the importance of winning that lag, especially over a short race like this. You know, you put a favoured team in, they get a break like that, and you're behind. It's as simple as that. And if they can carry on breaking like that, these Austrians are going to be tough to displace, aren't they? A lot of people, I was talking to Ted Lerner, and 1 or 2 other people have said if there's a real favoured dark horse in this competition, it's these guys right here, the Austrians.
Yeah, and Ted follows the game all over the world, journalist for the World Pool Association. And Portugal knew, they understood that they were up against it coming into this first round clash. But having said that, anything can happen in pool. It's a short race. A little bit of luck
Back
on your
two,
side.
Austria to break.
You can
Leading
turn
one
the
rack to
tables
nil.
on any favorite.
Breaking from the other side of the table. Here's Albin. Let's see if that one ball behaves itself. And there it goes again. Good spread of balls. Does he have a clear look at the two? You betcha.
Yeah, it's a little tricky looking table though.
Yeah, there's that cluster up at the top end. I mean, well, it's not quite a cluster, but there's three of them that they're spaced apart, but three up the top end of the table. And the two's going to take some potting as well.
Yeah, the 3 isn't going to take much work. Right over the side pocket.
It's a big shot this for Mario. And he nailed it.
Looks awful calm and collected. This young pair from Austria. They're seeded number 11 in this event, by virtue of their world ranking positions.
They've got a stinker in the next round potentially, if it all goes according to seedings. Chinese Taipei up next. No easy path to the final in this tournament. Long way to go, of course.
Yeah, he tried to use as much pocket. There wasn't a full pocket there, and if nothing else now, you're going to know that these 4 1/4 inch pockets are not very forgiving.
So the Portuguese pair come up to the table. It's the big fella, Manuel Gama. We'll take the first shot. We'll look for a kick here. No, he didn't. But he got a much better shot.
Well, you got it right. The kick will be coming right here. And a tricky one at that, where that 3 is finished. Going across the table just to that one cushion is fraught with danger because you can catch the wrong side of the 3 and the cue ball will find the side pocket. Very tricky.
Got away with it, but he has set it up. Still some work to be done on this table, though. A lot of work.
Yeah, he just needs to roll this in. He's going to leave the 4. The 5, if it goes by the 9 into the corner pocket, that'll be the easy path to the victory lane. But I'm not so sure it does. So
yeah, these angles are deceptive as we've seen, but I'm with you, Jim. I'm not sure that goes past that 9.
he may be looking at a 5-9 combination. If he's pretty straight on this, he's not going to be able to try and draw that cue ball and get right behind the 5. So don't be surprised if he doesn't play onto a 5-9 combination.
First the 4. Well, here it is for Guilherme Sousa, the young Portuguese player. And yeah, I think this is his World Cup debut, isn't it, Jim? But what a situation to put yourself.
Yeah, you know what? Where he's left the cue ball, I'm not too sure about the combination. I think I'd be giving that one a miss. He's just a little off angle on it. Maybe with the cue ball, but certainly not with. Well, I guess he did go with the 5-9.
Is he going to get safe? Ho, 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 ho.
That then would be the definition of safety.
And he meant it, of course.
Glued behind the 7. Gonna have to get the protractor out.
Yeah, good luck with this one, Albin.
No, he's not even trying to hit it.
No shot.
Yeah, just trying to make a bigger mess up there as well. Get the green and the black ended up together.
Yeah, not a very good shot. He tried to lay the green right into the 8, and Manuel has already had a look to see that 6 is available, so he'll just be able to draw back and get that cue ball the left-hand side of that 6 as we see. Just slightly overdrawn. You've got to be a bit careful here. Cue ball is going to be nudging into the 8. And you don't want that 8 to come in between the cue ball and the 7 next. Nice shot.
Very delicately played. That was a big shot. Get that wrong, you've more or less given up the rack. Get it right, you've more or less given yourselves the rack. He's done well there, the youngster. Manuel couldn't play it much better than that. Maybe a little bit straight. A little bit of a drag back from Sousa, and Manuel Gama can put Portugal on the board. Which he does. Well, that all turned on that terrific shot, as it turned out, from Guilherme Sousa, where he got safe at the top end of the table. And maybe I'm doing him just a disservice, Jim. I don't think he meant to get that, but whatever. You take your luck when it comes along.
I know one thing, there were no smiles from Guilherme, were there? Totally planned in his mind. 1-1 regardless, and they've got the break in rack number 3. Manuel Gama looking on. He's got his break cue in hand. And Guilherme looks on.
Not much of a conversation going on there.
No, they both look very serious, don't they? They didn't come to Portsmouth to do any shopping, I'll wager.
I don't think so.
Rack 3, Portugal to break. 1-1.
Do you subscribe to this theory that the less said, the better the partnership?
Yeah, it depends on the partnership. If it works for you, go with it. Rack number 3.
There goes the wing ball. There's another ball going to drop as well. And the red almost joined it, but the blue has opened right up.
Great break. Terrific break. One more look. 2 balls down, and that 3 ball across the head string makes it a legal break, and nicely situated on the 2. Everything's in the open.
That one wobbled in and out.
Yeah, thankfully for Guilherme it went in, because I guarantee his heart skipped a beat there.
Well, if his didn't, everybody else's did. That wasn't a convincing shot. But, as you say, Jim, doesn't matter how they go in, as long as they go in.
And this 3 wide open into the corner, and the 4 right beside it. And the 30-second shot clock. They take the extension. Each team allowed 1 extension per rack. And Portugal has just used theirs.
There goes the 3, a nudge on the 4. Don't think that's done any damage at all.
Yeah, this isn't easy, Nick. He's looking at this, and just the full contact on the 4. Looks like he's going to try and cut it into the bottom right corner.
It's where the cue ball goes next, isn't it, that he's considering.
Yeah, you didn't leave him the easiest of shots on the 4. You still would have expected him to get it, but you know, a lot of pressure out there, and you can take nothing for granted.
Well, there's only, you know, I thought he was lucky with that earlier shot, and then he had that shaky one earlier in this rack. And when the pool gods give you one, as they did in the last rack, it won't be long before they take him away again. So the pool gods are thinking, yeah, it's 1 each, Guilherme. You better get your game together. That brings Mario back.
Nicely controlled. Albin will look at this. Doesn't appear to have too much angle, so he may have to leave Mario near that cushion. Right about where he's holding his cue stick. And that's not going to be the easiest 7 in the world either. And unlike a lot of pool players, he's not ambidextrous. He doesn't use his left hand. Because he really doesn't have to do much. Maybe try and just pinch the pocket a bit. No, he didn't even want to do that. This is a tricky shot.
It is.
Under the circumstances, missable.
This fella needs to settle down. Shaky start. He's made it and he's cleared the 9.
You just get the feeling that both of these young players have a lot of confidence in each other. The sort of shots that they're leaving each other.
Well, that's the kind of 9 ball you want to be left with.
5 more times if Mario has his wish.
There you go.
A 2-1 lead. Austria has their nose in front of Portugal. It's day 1 action in the Betway World Cup of Pool. And Austria leading the way. Stay with us. We'll be back with more action from Portsmouth following the break. Well, the current state of play as Mario He lines it up. They're 2-1 in front. Austria versus Portugal.
2 balls down.
Yeah, that might be an illegal break.
Legal break.
It is.
There you go.
So it passes over. 2 balls down and a ball needed to pass that head string. 3 in total to make it a legal break. The head string, that line just on the right-hand side of the table as we look from the overhead.
Now the guy who's come up to the table is the junior Portuguese player, Guilherme Sousa. He's the guy that needs to just settle down and find his rhythm, and that might help. Now, does that pink slide? That's the question.
Going to be a combination. The 4 onto the 7. Looks like it's set. Little distance between the 2 balls, though. But more importantly, Nick, the 4 should hang around that corner pocket.
Well, let's see. Big on this for Rama. The combo, has he got away with it? Oh, it's a fine cut now, isn't it?
He played that with a little bit more speed than I thought he would. I thought he could roll it and keep that 4 closer to the corner pocket, but I mean, you still expect him to get this. He's going to be leaning over the table.
Extension call.
And he's calling for the extension because he needs the, well, he had referee Nigel Reese reaching for the rest or the rake. And he's reaching over the table now.
That was a strange one. Well, he's got the shot. Well, they've blown the extension and probably didn't need to. Now, that's nicely positioned on the 5. Just the one issue on the table there. It would appear. I'll make sure that you're in position to get rid of that black with the cue ball. Let's assume these 2 go down. Right, so this is the shot.
Yeah, and it shouldn't pose any problems, Nick. Just knock this in, take the cue ball off the side cushion, and back out for the 8. Standard shot for players at this level.
That needs to put the brakes on.
Yeah, he just a little too much adrenaline in that back arm there. Now Manuel is going to have to draw this cue ball to the side cushion. Avoid contacting the 9. Well,
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
I got to say, I didn't think he'd play it like that, but
Got away with it.
he knew what he was doing, even if I didn't.
Souza levels it up, 2 apiece. That was a bit of an adventure, that one, wasn't it, that rack? I don't think it was quite according to plan, but the bottom line is you put that 9 away, you don't care how you do it.
Yeah, and the fist hit, that's kind of the standard high five now. A little bit more manly, isn't it, when you clench fists and hit guys. But 2-2 is our score here in Portsmouth. The Mountbatten Centre, the host venue for the 2014 Betway World Cup of Pool. And Austria hopes that they see a lot more of this venue from the inside. Mario He, solid players. Young of age, and they're going to be mainstays on the European Tour for years to come.
Back 5, Portugal to break, 2-2.
But first, they've got to get out of their chair. I think there's much doubt that they'll have opportunities. Portugal sticking around, though. 2-2. Well, hang on a minute. We've got a dry one. That 9 went very, very close to a golden break there, didn't it?
Yeah, it was tracking towards that corner pocket. But nothing down, as you said, Nick. A golden break. Close, but a dry break it is.
Yeah, that 8 gave it a little nudge, the 9 ball, but not enough of a nudge. So, dry break brings the Austrians up to the table.
And it doesn't look like he can get to enough of this one to be able to knock it in.
But lots of hiding places and a green and black meld on the table as well. So, work to be done here. Now, Manuel Garma has certainly got a lot of hidey holes if he wants to go and play safe.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if Albanosian was pleased with that effort or not. He kind of gave a look of disdain as he went back to the chair. He certainly can't cut this in, I don't think, Nick, and so he's just trying to run for cover here.
Once again, he's put plenty on it, you know, and left it wide open.
Yeah, not his best safety effort.
Not the first time he's hit a shot a little bit harder than you were expecting as well.
Well, he's going to have to draw this back. He's going to have to try and pull this back to play the 2 to the same pocket. No, he didn't get around the 2.
So what can Albin do with this? There is not much daylight between those 2 balls.
I think the favorite shot here is to try and hide the cue ball behind the colors near the top corner. Bottom right as we look. Just try and leave the 2 out in the middle of the table and duck in behind cover. The 6, the 8, and looks like the 4. Make it the 5.
Has he got it? Certainly got plenty of distance. I think he's obscured that blue as well.
And it's tough to tell whether or not it's an easy escape from that side cushion. Can't quite make out the angle. But almost looks like that side pocket takes the easy escape away. So he may have to spin the cue ball a little or go to the other side, which makes the shot a lot tougher.
Extension call.
And you know what? It looks like he's gone for his break cue. No, he had his jump cue. Now he's gone back with his playing cue, so he's spinning it.
It's going to just glide past the middle pocket, and he wants it to stop, and it's traveled a little bit, but
Looked like he entertained thoughts of trying to jump at that, Nick. Might not have been a bad idea. He had his jump cue in hand, but he's given Mario a chance. It's a tough ask to try and knock this 2 in, but if he gets it, I think that 3 will just slide by the 9 to the bottom corner. And the cue ball goes across the table twice and back over towards the left-hand side.
He's nailed that one.
Well, now if he can get this, there's a 4-9 combination that's going to be awaiting his next visit.
So Albin Ocean to try and set up his partner.
And you know they'll be going at the 9 from the 4. That's a guarantee.
Avoided the 7. Here we go. Set it up for Mario He.
Just picking that imaginary pocket with the 4, just above the one that already exists.
And the 4-9 combo does the business for Austria. And they take the rack.
Yeah, they're not letting Portugal get any sort of wind in their sails, and we're in the right city for that. That's a 3-2 lead. The race to 7, first round action. With a nifty little combination. Or as they say here in the UK, a plant.
Big rack coming up. You think if Austria get to 4-2 against a shaky-looking Portugal team, it's going to be tough for the guys in green to come back. So the Austrians will be looking to shake these guys off right here, I think. You didn't hear too many people around the arena making a case for the Portuguese winning this one, and at 4-2, the odds would get significantly longer.
No, I totally agree. I mean, they just look very much at ease with the circumstances. You know they put in a lot of time on the practice table, and guaranteed back in Austria they would have been practicing the Scotch doubles format. Rack number 6, a 3-2 lead to Team Austria.
Oh, they've missed the wing ball, and they come up dry.
Yeah, that's the bad news. The good news is it's a legal break, and they haven't left a shot at the 1 for Portugal.
They have not. It's just a surprise to see dry breaks starting to pop up. Now it's the 1 and the 2 stuck close together, and it's that 2 ball that is blocking the 1 top right as we're looking.
Yeah, tricky little shot here. You just wonder if he can flick the 1 thin enough to make the 2. It certainly doesn't look like the 1 passes. But he had a look at coming off the cushion. That's a dangerous ask. Yeah, I just don't like that option at all.
Extension call.
This demands a little bit more consultation between the 2.
And it also demanded that extension. Absolutely right to take that. Well, Jim, you're much the more experienced of you and Guillermo. What would you do?
You know something? The safety here is very tough. I might just push out and just roll the cue ball down a bit. Makes the safety easier, because that's all you really want. See, he's left it unless the 2 comes back to block.
And if that happens, he's just lucky.
Yeah,
and it
so
doesn't.
he's left a chance at the 1.
That had the look of hit and hope.
Yeah, I might have just pushed down and just made the safety a little easier. But this is a chance now for Austria. I mean, the way they played that shot, Nick, they knew the 1 was tracking down towards the corner, and they knew the cue ball wasn't behind cover. It almost found cover with the 2 coming back in front of it, but you really, in this game, what I've seen over the years and watched all these great players is you make your own luck. You really can't leave things where they're 50-50. You've got to you've really got to be aggressive, and when you make your decision, you know, you've got to let the percentages work in your favor.
And the luck always balances out, doesn't it?
Well, players like to think so.
Extension call.
He's going to have to draw this back. The 3 is over the side pocket. So again, just the only thing that can go wrong, apart from missing it, is just overdrawing it. Nice shot.
Still a couple of sand traps to tiptoe through on this table. Again, placement with the cue ball is what it's all about here. Mario mustn't lose control of that.
Oh, I like the way he's played this. He's overhit it a bit. Well, he's actually overhit it a lot.
A lot.
But
a lot.
It's still available.
It was much harder than it needed to be.
But anytime I seen a player, or I see a player just let his cue out like that, it just tells me that he's confident.
Well, the body language difference between he and Sousa, for example, is just
Light years
screaming
apart,
at you, isn't it? It really is.
You see the benefit again. I mean, even though he overhit it, the way that he played it, he had such a large margin for error. And that goes down to experience. Experience and confidence. And you know, I go back to North America and players I know from Canada, and certainly players I run into in the States. They all ask me, why are European players so strong? Why, especially in the Mosconi Cup, why is Team Europe such a big favorite now over Team USA? You're seeing reasons why right here. They're developing all these great young talents and the European tour that exists. It's just, you know, what happens is it just manufactures all these great young players that are getting honed with first-class competition.
And it's across the continent now as well, isn't it? It's not a little pocket of, you know, England here, Germany there, a bit of Dutch. You know, you're producing players all over the place in Europe now.
And make no mistake about it, Nick, these are two future stars on the world scene as far as the Mosconi Cup is concerned.
They should open up the Mosconi Cup to you guys, Jim. Get you out of retirement.
They don't want it to get any uglier. Yeah, I just like the way both these two both of them, the way they deliver their cues.
Talking about getting uglier, this is starting to get ugly for Portugal. This for 4-2 in the race to 7. And the writing is on the wall here. The Portuguese off the coast of Portsmouth threatening to sink without a trace. Austria 4-2 in the race to 7. And the action continues after this break.
3, 2, 1. Give it to me.
Well, it's doubtful it's going to come here, Nick, the way that Austria look.
Yeah, well, they've got the wing ball as 3. Is that 2 in or 3? And there's certainly 2 down.
Yeah, 3 balls down.
Yeah,
but
I thought the 8 went.
I'll tell you what, there's a chance here for a 3-9 combination. And the 3, the lowest ball still remaining. So Albin's going to have a look at it. And there it is. But there's a little distance between these two, and there's a lot of distance between the cue ball and the 3.
Well, this surely is the time to go for a shot like that. At 4-2 up, you might as well just roll the dice, see what you get. What a shot this would be. Nailed it!
Nick, you took the words right out of my mouth. At 4-2, a lot easier to look at a 3-9 over that distance than if you're trailing 4-2. What a shot. Two combinations have laid the foundation here for Austria, who now enjoy a 5-2 advantage over Portugal.
And I was looking at the Portuguese. There is head shaking going on. If those guys had a white towel in their possession right now, they would chuck it on the table. They're ready to pack it in.
Well, they certainly have to feel like they're a little bit snake
Look at that. Look. Giving up.
They led 2-1 at one stage. Or sorry, pardon me, that was it was 2-2 at one stage, and they had a chance to go 3-2 in front. Missed it, and it's been all Austria from that point on. And 5-2 now, the advantage.
It's distress flares time, isn't it, over there? Yeah. Get me out of here.
Yeah, it doesn't look like any postcards are being exchanged.
Are you allowed to throw in a towel in this game? Or are you just stuck there till the bitter end?
Leading 5 racks to 2.
It's happened.
2 to go. This race to 7. Austria trotting towards the finish line here. Let's see how many they get in this time. 3 last time. A couple of balls have gone down, including the wing ball. Nice
and the
spread.
9 in the side pocket.
Yes. Oh, good spot, Jim. I tell you, they've had a 3-9 combination. They've had a golden break. What else can go wrong for Portugal? What else can go right for the Austrians?
Worth another look. The 2 kicking that 9 straight into the throat of the side pocket. That was like a kick in the teeth to Team Portugal.
Well, they already knew it wasn't their day. That is the final combination. And yeah, he doesn't bother celebrating too much. You take your luck when it comes along.
Well, they've obviously booked a table for dinner. 2 combinations on the 9, a golden break, and Team Austria off to a flyer. 6-2 as we look at Team Portugal.
They've booked their table for dinner as well. It's in Lisbon.
Yeah, it's not one of those memorable moments. Having said that, they can't give in, not yet. They just need a chance, and they're hoping that Austria gives them that opportunity.
Well, a golden break, a bit of luck on the spread of balls. That's setting up the 3-9. So from 4-2 and Portugal in a world of trouble, it's now 6-2.
Rack 9, Austria to break, leading 6 racks to 2.
The Austrians to try to look to wrap it up here, keep the Portuguese stuck in their chairs. I don't get the impression either of those guys is keen to get back on this table anyway. So here we go.
Well, one thing about it, Nick, is the 1 flies into the side pocket. Austria won't have to worry about breaking again. The break cues can go back into their cases. They're on the hill. And I'd be very sorry, Nick, I'd be very surprised if Portugal come out of their chairs even in this one, other than to shake hands, because everything's in the open.
Yeah, it's almost perfect. The pink went along with that wing ball, the 1. And there's the 2. Bring the cue ball down the table for the 3, which is nicely set up.
Nice angle on the 3. Swing the cue ball just around the 2 angles and back out towards. He'd ideally love to be where he is now with a cue ball. Yeah, and he'll play this with bottom and left-hand side spin into that white. Quick look at the shot clock.
Extension called.
And obviously, Nick, he wants just a bit more time to think about this shot.
Well, that makes sense. The winning post in sight. And you can understand why people are talking about them as dark horses for the title here, as that one rolls in. But I think we have to say as well, Jim, there are sterner tests than Portugal awaiting. It's been pretty disappointing from those guys, really, hasn't it? They'll look back at this and say, we just never got going.
That's a fair comment, though, Nick. I mean, this is just the first hurdle in this long race.
As I say, if it goes according to the script, I think, double check for me, Jim, but I think it's Chinese Taipei up next, and that won't be a stroll. That will be tough sledding if it is Chinese Taipei.
Yes, the winner between Chinese Taipei and Qatar. Ted Lerner, our colleague, actually said Qatar is very worthy of an upset in that match. But they will be heavy underdogs.
Yeah, I was surprised when I heard Ted say that himself. I thought, if you looked at the draw, Ted, Chinese Taipei. Still, that's Qatar, if they do get past them. they'll fancy they can beat anybody. Anyway, the last rights are being read here.
Well, a little unlucky to leave that 6 so straight, so he's going to have to try and bank this into the corner pocket. Going to try and bank this into the top left corner.
Does it go? Does it go? Yes. Put this one in the record books. It's over.
What a shot. What a way to finish it off.
I mean, there was no pressure on them, really. Yeah, they got a bit of luck with the golden break, and they got a little bit of luck with that 3-9 combination, but this has been a demolition job from Austria, hasn't it? This is a statement right here. Absolutely wiped them out. 7-2. At 2 apiece. We thought we might have had a match on our hands, but the look on the shell-shocked Portuguese faces tell their own story. They just got wiped out. Everything working for the Austrians, and they win it 7-2.
Join me, and boys, it doesn't get a lot better than that. Albin and Mario, terrific performance, gentlemen. And you've really set yourselves up very nicely for what's yet to come.
I don't know. Next round, we will play against Chinese Taipei. Will be much harder for us because they've got so many victories in the past, and it's always nice to play against them, but it's pretty much harder.
Yes, Mario, you look very solid. First time here in the World Cup of Pool. You're going to be spending a lot more time on the TV table.
I was more often in the World Cup of Pool, but that's the second time I played with Albin, and I feel really good with playing with him.
I actually mistook you for a player you look a lot like from Holland, who was a former world champion too. You ever get confused with him?
No, but I heard it often, very often, that I look like him.
Yes, well, I can tell you, fellas, I mean, you think you're going to be playing Chinese Taipei, but Qatar, a lot of people kind of tipping Qatar. They're playing very well right now.
Yeah, sure. There are, I think, 2 new players. The one guy was, I think, 9th at the World Championship. So, I mean, everyone can win. I mean, they're all players can play, and so, but I think it will be Chinese Taipei.
Well, you can think it's a short race, anything can happen. But gentlemen, again, congratulations through to the round of 16, and we'll be looking for bigger and better things from you.